Lois Jordan.
Here.
Betty Johnson. Craig Gill.
Here.
Rex McCarthy.
Here. The first item on the agenda is public comments. At this time has been set aside for anyone present who would like to make comments on an item that is on the agenda. You may now do so. You're restricted to 2 minutes. Next item on the agenda, item number 2. Approval of minutes of April meeting.
Can I make a motion that we approve the minutes of April meeting?
Properly moved.
Second.
And second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Item number 3, adoption of ordinance number 992, amendment to the installation and connection to sewage main.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Hiring of a new fire chief, Mr. Orlando Logan. I think his resume was passed around to everyone. Yes.
If I may just make a comment, I received the resume Friday, but didn't find any references, any people to call to do due diligence. So I move that we table until we can find some references, and, unless others have, I don't know, but I did not have any references at all to contact.
I had received perhaps one of the highest references that you could receive from it, and that was our LSU instructor, Coco.
Right. Well, I just didn't have an opportunity without any names and numbers to call. That's just me personally, but that would be my recommendation.
You put that in a motion, correct?
Yeah, I move we table until next meeting and we are allowed references to contact.
I'll say it.
Before we do this, I just want to comment, that he came out last month, for an exception. And I really think that he offers a lot to our fire department. I've interviewed him on several different occasions. The previous fire chief left without any discussion, and during that time we've actually been short a personnel, and we're short a fire chief, and I really need to get that position filled.
You got to vote on there.
But
You got to vote on what they, on the table.
been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Huh?
I didn't know.
How did you vote?
Oh,
Did you vote to table it?
oh, yes.
Okay.
You voted to table it?
We didn't use it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It needs to be tabled. You can call
Okay.
a special,
Yeah,
call a special meeting, do references, contact. Would that be all you?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just want the opportunity to make some calls and do my due diligence for the head of the department.
Okay. Item is tabled.
I guess that's me. I left my paper in the car that
We're supposed to be getting an itemized list of the tickets and their disposition. I really thought this would have just been a letter written, but I would ask that we send this over to,
Did you want that to come from the court, or did you want it to come from the city?
it's gonna be coming, it's in the rules from that the mayor made with Ann.
Okay.
Wouldn't the same rules apply?
Sure.
And we used to get it, and I think it's just a matter of Judge Sarton not knowing about it,
Do you want me to
you know,
notify
and
him?
I just,
Yeah.
And
Well,
you want me to notify him, Kay, and see if he can give us, now you want it monthly,
that we were getting it quarterly,
quarterly? Okay.
yeah,
quarterly.
yeah.
Would you just consider that right now, you know, when we have a report that comes in from the chief of police each month, and then that report that comes in is not reflecting the check that we receive, you know, each month. And
Well-
and if there was, if we could receive a report, you know, from the city court saying that we have X number of tickets wrote, which brought in X number of dollars. We had 5 cases listed for disturbing the peace, brought in X number of dollars.
Breakdown on everything.
Right, because right now, you know, we have no idea of being able to know. Chief can't even look at it and say, well, I wrote, you know, this number of tickets, you know.
I'm not saying to changing, I mean, and I'm not opposed to changing anything.
You just like to still.
This is an agreement that's already come about, and I don't know the exact wording of it. It just says that, I mean, we're supposed to be getting them.
Well, then the mayor would like to see a little more itemized.
Since we already have
And
them,
we're,
we're gonna try to.
and I'll meet with
Go to the
Scott.
mayor's court, we need to see it itemized every month, everything.
And I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I just was going by what was in that agreement, but if that's able to be changed, you know, by all means, I'd just like to have a little bit more.
The last judge did it. I don't know why this judge thinks he doesn't have to do it, so.
I just
Well,
don't
he may
think he
not,
knows it.
he may not know about
The
it.
agreement she's
Maybe
talking
they'll do it
about,
at the same
Yeah.
time.
the agreement
that's
she's
why.
talking about was after the 2013 audit, is when the legislative auditors came in and they wrote the police department up on the reconciling the 5 tickets with the ticket book. That's what, and then they came and met with the judge, the mayor, the chief and everybody. That was Chief Thomas at the time. And they gave out that list of rules, and so she brought me a copy of that, and then I found mine, so it's in there. So what I do have is I'll send you a copy of that, and you can attach it to your letter.
Yeah, you and I get together and work on that. And then we may not list names,
No.
but we can do ticket,
Right.
ticket numbers, and fine, and then hopefully that matches up with the money.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get that. Matter of fact, the judge did provide a quarterly report, which I gave to the mayor, but it was just over the phone.
Yeah.
And we want to get something in writing.
Okay. For us all.
Okay. Thank you. Item number 6, Andrew Dobson. We are, you wanted the screen hooked up, and we,
His cord doesn't fit the outlet, so,
It sounds like our technical lady is not here.
yeah.
okay.
I do have, I mean, if anyone wants to see any pictures of the side or anything, we can pass that around, that's no problem, so. My name is Andrew Dodson. I'm with the Delta Initiative. It's a division of the Center for Children and Families out of Monroe. We have done a lot of work in the area over the last several years. We have recently been given a grant by a local foundation here to do work in the community, specifically with families in need in the area. We've hired several therapists, several family advocates that are doing work. As a matter of fact, there's a big group of them right now over at River of Life Church, kind of having a family night right now. That has so far gone really well. Everyone in town has been really welcoming. Kind of our movement is towards some restorative justice things, and we really got our hand in a lot of things at the moment. But the piece of it I'm working on currently is a community garden. What we'd like to do is have a place to work with some of the youth that we have doing therapy with, and also some of the others at the high school, possibly with the ag teacher there, and possibly with some of the kids that live in the area. Went by the mayor's office a week or so ago and discussed possible sites. We discussed several different spots. I'm not super familiar with the town, but some of the folks there were, and I think one of the ones that we thought would possibly be best is on Highway 4. Heading out towards the high school, there's a strip of about 3 acres there before you get to that stoplight, and I have pictures of that there. We have a young man, his name is Bruce, and I can't recall his last name, who is working on his Eagle Scout badge, and he would like to make kind of the design and lay out of that his first project. So I'm just here to kind of talk to you guys about that and hopefully get your approval to move forward. So any questions you guys might have, I'm more than happy to answer.
What would you need, I mean, you need the city to hook up water and that sort of thing?
Right,
Something like
so we are sort of on a shoestring as far as that goes, so the more help the better. I have done this unrelated to the Delta Initiative project in Rayville with some local partners there. We started about a year ago. The city did hook up water at the site for us, and it has provided us free water there, which is, you really can't do this without that, because the sewer cost alone is pretty high when you start watering plants. We do hook up like a drip water system, so it's minimal as far as usage, but it ends up being prohibitive once you're trying to get kids out there for free. So that would be something we would be asking for sure.
Water should be fairly easy. It's right next to a residence home.
Okay.
It's if you Ricky's one top of Rick,
Dorsey White lives right there, I think.
that one house that just okay, where he's still
It's an open spot right
there's
there.
that open field down from that.
Electricity? No?
No, we don't need electricity
Okay.
necessarily.
That's a good area, those trees, that's a beautiful area right there.
I think so.
Can the city do that, donate?
I'm not sure we can legally donate water.
They do in Rayville? I'm asking Andrew.
They do in Rayville, but I have no idea whether it's legal or not.
And I don't either.
Okay, I didn't
But
ask
I
that
would
question.
like to say, I think that the town can actually put water to a meter. But there's no, we can do all that, but I'm not sure past that if we can provide water, but I'll check it out.
Okay.
And we'll see if we can, Mayor. It'll be up to you and the council what y'all want to do.
And if we could figure out a way to maybe even not pay the sewer portion of that, and we could find funding for the water portion, I mean, I'll solve the problem, if that ends up being unworkable, so.
That we can do, we put in irrigation meters at places, like the doctor's offices, insurance places, that do not have sewer on them. They are just water only.
Right.
But you'll only have water.
Correct.
We can do that.
And I'll research it, Mayor, and see if we can donate the water.
Okay.
And then it'll just be up to y'all whether y'all want to or not.
Oh, sure.
What does a successful project like this look like as far as participation from the public and
Right.
what do you grow and what,
So let me be totally forthright. I'm not an expert in this. I'm a psychologist by training, so I'm kind of getting into this. I've got about a year of experience in Rayville because me and the local ADA up there, Joe Briggs, kind of decided this would be good for the kids. Yeah. What we have seen, and we're considering success so far in Rayville, is we have exactly 20 raised beds that are 4 feet by 12 feet. We've had several churches come in and help us build those and have been involved doing events in the community and getting families involved. And so the way we've started with those is we've had families come and they adopt one of those beds. We provide the tools and stuff which have been donated, and they're able to come out and, a lot of them live in the projects there and they don't have the land, but they'd like to keep a garden, and so they can come out and work those. Right now, all but I think 3 of those are occupied in Rayville. The other piece we have is, I'd say 2/3 of an acre there in Rayville are planted in rows. We do peas, we've done a lot of vegetables this year, which is kind of an experiment. It's a lot more labor. But we let churches come in that want their youth to experience missions and that sort of thing, and they'll pick them and they'll take them down and distribute it to widows and folks in the community. We also part of what we do is we're working with some of the youth that have been in trouble maybe with city court or been picked up, and we want to keep them out of the juvenile justice system. So one of our therapists would take a young man out there and possibly have him work in a garden and take the produce and maybe sell it, maybe donate it, take it to his family, that sort of thing. So that's what we would like to see happen. And that's been fairly successful in Rabel so far. But
Sounds great.
Are you set up as like a nonprofit corporation or an LLC?
So I'm employed by the Center for Children and Families. That's a nonprofit in Monroe with about 200 employees. I run a subdivision of that called the Delta Initiative, which is exclusively funded by the Como Foundation here in town to work in this parish. So that's kind of how I'm set up. But I'm an employee of the nonprofit.
And you'd want some type of lease from the town?
What we did in Rabel, the spot we have in Rabel actually belongs to the Richland Baptist Association. It's next to the Karen Chair there, which is kind of a thrift store that the Baptist Association owns. They leased it to us for $1 a year, and we insure it. So our insurance company underwrites it.
So you would insure?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to carry some kind of liability insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I would need to know is the legal identity, like if, such and such LLC, who will be representing it.
Right, that would be the Center for Children and Families.
Okay.
And I can
But I can
get
get with you. And
Right.
Mayor, where exactly are they talking about doing this down on Highway 4?
The old Brownell property. That's right across.
Okay, what we call Pink Floyd.
Property.
Yeah, okay.
Not nice.
If I'm not mistaken, there may still be a meter box there from where that house was there.
Yeah, Mr. Brownell.
Yeah. Sure was. So they may very well still be a meter there, or I say a meter box, not necessarily a meter, but a meter box.
Putting a meter there.
So all it should be would be just putting a meter there and like I said, and since they're gonna be using it for irrigation, we can set it up like that and it won't, and without charging sewer on it.
Okay. I think we can make that there. That can happen.
Things good. Just allow him to do what he's supposed to research.
Okay, I'll make sure y'all have.
Well, there's a little procedure to it. It's got to be advertised. Any lease with the town has to be advertised.
Okay.
But we've got to go through that same procedure.
Right.
We say it's not a public use, and at that point, the council can lease it.
Sounds good.
There's a certain article on it.
Okay.
And it's not like going to the church and they just sign a lease. It's got a,
Right, I understand. Yeah. Okay.
So we'll do an advertisement for 30 days and then a public hearing next meeting? Is that what we're gonna do?
well, we got to get the ordinance ready and the lease ready and, all that has to be advertised. If I'd known 2 days ago that we needed it, I'd have had it.
Could we get the lease done with a special call? Going to get the lease now and come back with a special call, like I say, probably next week?
Yeah, because we're going to do the same thing on the fire chief.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, that way we can add the fire chief and
this.
Yeah, add both of those to our special meeting.
And would he have to come back to that special meeting or?
No, the special meeting will be just to introduce it and to have it advertised. It'll be an ordinance. And it'll be advertised, I'm not sure how many times. Seems like, Bill, what is it, a couple times? When you lease something, it's a couple times and then, but the next council meeting, we ought to be able to take it up.
To look and see if there's a meter. I know there's a meter right here, but this is a special.
That'll be-
I'm not sure is there a meter right there. Fire hydrant right here. I guess. Yeah, that's gonna be off the main.
Okay. We'll move on to item number 7. Ms. Katie LaFrance. It's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, who is that? Oh, it's you, so.
Well, it's my picture, but it's our community. And that's the reason I gave it to you, not for self-aggrandizement, but just to let you know that we're getting some very positive press. And that's one of the things on my agenda to you all this evening. We've been prominently featured, of course, with the Louisiana Endowment for Humanities, and that's who we, along with the Smithsonian Institute, managed to get our exhibit last year celebrating local sports. And so Louisiana Endowment for Humanities is very aware of what we're doing in Winsboro. We also got a nice write-up in Bayou Life magazine. And again, when I say we, it's the community. It's recognition for who we are and what we are. So I'm very proud of that. Since I met with you all last, we've had the Catfish Festival, which was a huge success, thanks in great part to our city crew who worked tirelessly, and we thank them so much for that. We had an approximate attendance of over 17,000, which is wonderful for our community in every sense of the word. And then the very next day, we had the Riverboat Series, mainly marathons, the Sunday after the festival. And if you all just looked at our walking trail, it was covered up with RVs and campers and what have you. And those are people from all over the country, not just Louisiana, not just the South, but they come from all over the country to do this marathon. And this is the 5th year that Winsboro Winsboro is one of their favorite places to come because they love our walking trail. And they take it over all day long. And again, thank you, Philip and city crew, for going over and above to make it as nice as it always is. One year we had a lot of rain, but you still got out there and made it happen, and we really appreciate it. The Flood of 27 exhibit at the museum has been one of our most successful. I know I say that every time, but they are growing. Our exhibits are, but this one has been particularly meaningful to us. Students in particular have really taken advantage of this one. We have about a 25-minute video that the Corps of Engineers made for us. And so what if it's extra credit? The kids are coming, they're getting their extra credit, and they're sitting there and they're watching that 25-minute video. And then they walk around and they see all the pictures and they hear the stories and they see the boat. And it brings something to life to them that they've not been aware of, I don't believe. So it's been a really, really positive thing. We hosted the Triple L group from Winsboro First Baptist Church, around 30 people a couple of weeks ago. We hosted the Life Church Mother-Daughter Brunch this past Saturday in the museum.
Awesome.
Wasn't it fun? It was beautiful. I think everybody enjoyed being there, and we loved having them. We also hosted Congressman Ralph Abraham's staff. They were all in the state for a state retreat on their way to Lake Bruin, and they called us and asked if they could come and see the exhibit and see the museum. And so that was a big deal. They stayed about an hour and a half, and we enjoyed having them. And that's always good visibility. As they say, just spell our name right. But we love having it. And we're hosting a wedding on May 27th. So the Old Post Office Museum is really being used and enjoyed. It's a wonderful facility for us. Our next exhibit will be work from the collection of a gentleman by the name of Greg Cartmill. He lives in Meridian, Mississippi, but he's originally from Plymouth, Massachusetts. His work has been featured in Architectural Digest, House Beautiful, and Mississippi Magazine. His show opens June the 1st, Thursday evening, June the 1st. We'd love to have you, no charge for the opening reception from 5 to 7. And it will be going on through August the 4th. But Greg is coming back from Meridian on July the 1st, Saturday, July the 1st, to do a painting demonstration. And it will sort of serve to not only generate interest for the museum and his exhibit, but I think will be, once again, excellent visibility for us. This is a gentleman that's very, very well-known in art circles. And Margaret Ellerman, our own Margaret Ellerman, will be conducting 2 summer art workshops the 3rd and 4th week in June. And we're planning right now, we're in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce for our next big event, which is Main Street Market. It's going to be Saturday, June 17th, up and down Prairie Street, and sort of a little mini festival, if you will. We'll have craft vendors. We've already booked several food trucks, children's activities all day long. The Sheriff's Department is going to be helping us with security, and we appreciate the city crew again for their help in helping to put up banners and doing all of the prep work prior to. We're trying to alleviate any city overtime on that day, so we invite you all to come out on Saturday, June the 17th, to Main Street Market. And with that, I have a question, if I may. The status of the farmer's market, when is it supposed to open? Do we know?
Yes.
I just
As of
like.
yesterday, when we talked to him, not yesterday, Friday, he says, give or take with the weather, we're looking at about a month, maybe a month and a half.
Great, okay. If you'd
2
let
at the
us
most.
know, we'd love to participate in an opening, or, you know, whatever we need to do. We're really looking
We'll
forward.
invite you to the grand opening.
So, okay, great, all right. Any questions?
Just one, Margaret Ellerman's art workshop, is that geared for youth, or is it adults, or are
This
all
particular
children?
one, I believe, is geared for over age 15.
Okay.
She has had them before that any age can participate, but I believe this particular one, or these particular 2 that she's having the 3rd and 4th week in June, are for age 15 and up.
It is.
I think I'm right there, but she has, we have applications at the museum.
Okay.
You're welcome to come
All right.
look.
I didn't want to do it, I was just.
Oh, come on, Greg. Anything else?
I make a motion, we accept Ms. LaFrance's quarterly report.
Probably move. And second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it was unanimously approved. Item number 8, Maya Meyer.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'll be relatively brief. We do have a couple of things coming up. Number 1 was the 2017 water main communication project. I wasn't able to be at last month's meeting, but that was awarded at the last month's meeting, so we're getting ready to get started up, kick that one off here in the next couple of weeks. It was awarded to Womack & Sons Construction. They put in the low quote of about $68,250. And that'll be 3 streets in town that are on the upcoming street project: Mason, Tensall, and Brown Streets. Water main replacements in those areas. The 2017 street improvements project will be start advertising in the paper this coming Wednesday, and we're opening bids on that June 15th is the anticipated date. So we'll have a recommendation to award on the upcoming June council meeting. The one big news that we got that I'm not sure if the council's been made aware of, but we did receive our CDBG funding. Our project was funded. We were notified of that in April, if I'm not mistaken. That's $700,000 in grant funds through the Community Development Block Grant Program for rehabilitation of 3 primary lift stations within the city. The Motel Owens lift station out there next to the walking park, the Earl Drive lift station, and Pinecrest are the 3 that are included in that project. But that's something we got our authorization to incur costs on letter on that last week. So we're excited to move forward. Any questions on any of these items on the report?
How long have we been trying to get those lift stations? Quite a while.
Yes, sir. We were, I believe this is the second or third year of that application. I'm not mistaken.
Good, let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, very, very excited, because we were, my understanding was you all getting ready to spend some money on at least 1 or 2 of those stations in the next year. That hopefully this will alleviate those needs.
I move to accept the report so eloquently given by Pete. Got me.
Been properly moved? And second, all in favor, say aye. Thank you very much, Heath, that was a good report.
Thank you.
Public Works Monthly Report.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm sure some of y'all have already heard that we are painting the pools this year. We painted Murphy Pool already. We got the water going back to it. We painted Berry Pool today. We should have the water going back to it by late tomorrow afternoon. Of course, we had the Clean City contest. We had preparations for. We did some work down at the high school of putting up fence and bleachers all down there for them for the graduation. This weekend at Davis Park, we're having the Armed Forces Days down there. I think at 11 o'clock, is that right, Alice?
Yes, it's May Days.
May Days. Okay. And at the Recreation Center up here in Industrial Park, they're having their first event up there this weekend. We were talking about the farmer's market. I was looking there today. They do have all the walls for the inner building up with all the brickwork done, with all the door frames in place. Looks like the next step that they would be doing on their construction phase would be putting the rafters in and get ready to start putting in the ceiling and then finishing up the electrical. That's all.
Philip, there was another item pertaining to the area up at Industrial Park. They had requested that we water an area out there that, and I took it would be the area that they would use for this display area for the horse. And I told them that I would have to come before the council to get permission to do so. Brother Harris contacted me at the office today. And
They wanted you to do what?
do what?
What are they asking you to do?
He needs some water.
To water it. Okay, I didn't understand what you said.
I'm sorry?
You said to water it or to furnish water?
Yeah, he needs to water a particular area up there. And it's gonna take quite a bit of water. And I told him that I would bring it before the council. And they're having a display Saturday. They're having a horse show.
Yeah, this Saturday.
This Saturday.
This Saturday.
And they're in preparations and they needed this water to prepare for that.
They have a committee. I know Michael Jones, I think, is on it. Anyway, several people that serve on the committee had mentioned something to me about providing water or us assisting in providing water. I didn't think they had the funds for it or something. Is this the same type of thing that they're talking? They just need water to that facility. And then I guess they're claiming that if they get water to that facility, then they can start bringing in money and they could pay for their water?
No,
I don't know.
I can't answer any of those questions.
Yeah.
Mayor, are they asking us to put in a water meter or just put in some faucets up there that they can get water from? What are
Just want the water thing, he said.
To harden the sand.
Harden the sand for the horse show.
Spray to make
So they just want us to put some faucets up there where they can
that's
can
what
water
they
the
want.
arena
They
down.
want fire to
It belongs to the police jury and I think Brother Harris is the chairman over the,
Okay, so it'd be for the police jury.
Right.
Cooperative
exactly,
endeavor, that's what we have.
right.
It would have to come
So
under
we
like
said-
a cooperative endeavor with the police jury.
You know, we gave them the land for that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they
it
can pay
belongs
for
to
they can pay for their water, can't they?
Excuse me?
He said, can't the police
We
jury?
gave them the land, can't they pay for the water?
Yes.
That's my stance.
How much water are you talking about, Philip?
If they water that whole arena down, it's gonna take a good bit of water.
Seems like it'd be
They're gonna water that arena down, they're gonna fill up their water troughs. I mean, this is gonna take a lot of water. which is, you know, that's what that type of facility needs, is a lot of water.
What is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we allow privileges, we allow the concessions to work in a collaborative effort with the police jury, to allow us on this time to provide them or assist them in providing water for that facility and for that.
Make, say that, to enter into a cooperative
Cooperative
endeavor.
endeavor.
And then we need to negotiate with the police jury.
Okay.
They need to sit down, talk to us, let us know what's going on.
I'll second.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it was unanimously approved. We're going to move down to item number 12. Fire Chief, monthly report.
Monthly fire department, public, the well, 2 in the city, 1 out of town, 3. Mobile home, 0. Vehicle fire, 2 in town, 1 crash fire, no rescue call, no machinery, no motel, no apartments, no public sex, no, 1 school in town, 1 assistant with the helicopter, 1 alarm in town. And all totals is 10 we have on our report this month.
What was that school fire about, if you don't mind?
The kid put an alarm, was in that plane with the alarm, putting an alarm down at the school.
Oh. Move to accept.
Properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it was unanimously approved. Police Chief, monthly report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. For the month of 4/18/17, 5/15/17, criminal charges for the month of 39, for the year of 190. Traffic charges 92, for the year 436. Highway accidents was 16, parking lots was 5, the total was 21, and the call for service was for 420.
So moved.
Properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it was unanimously approved. Humane Officers, monthly report.
Thank you, Mayor. Number, calls of Dr. 0, claim 0, 1 for the year, false 10, 27 for the year, 4 cats for the year, skate, died 2, cat 6 for the year, new dogs picked up 15, 60 for the year, 6 cats, total care for 33, cats 4, pounds of dog food, 450 pounds for the month, $17.50 for the year, 10 for the cat. Total number, dogs in the pen, 23. Total number animals in the pen, 23. 10 miscellaneous calls, 10 miscellaneous, 85 calls, 15 dead animals.
What is your pleasure?
Make a motion to accept the Humane Officers monthly report.
Been properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it unanimously approved. Move down to item number 16. Approval of November, December, January, February, March monthly financial report.
Okay, you should have in front of you, or with you, the financials for December through March.
I do. I cannot at this time make a recommendation to approve these reports. There seems to be a problem with the fact that the bank statements and the profit and loss do not match. I called Heather at Solis and Simmons today. I spoke with her, we had a nice conversation. I just wanted to know if I was right in my thinking that we just really cannot approve these reports because they're not accurate. Even though, you know, I've got to say that the ladies are working really hard and really diligent to straighten them up, but they're just not there yet. And they're probably in the same position that I am. I really don't know what's wrong. I just know there's something wrong and why the two are not closer together. And Heather agreed with me that they should be, and she also agreed that she knew that the ladies were working really hard towards it because she's getting phone calls and she's being a part of it. She suggested that we might try to look at an outside source to come in and help to try to get these straight. Just like we've hired somebody to do the payroll, you know, she gave me the name and phone number of a lady in Faraday, and she said she didn't know if she would take on new clients, but if she wouldn't, she might give us the name of somebody that could. She's familiar with governmental accounting, and that's what it's gonna take to figure out what's happening, I guess. But at this time, there's not a recommendation to approve the reports.
May I make a recommendation to accept the November, December, January, February, monthly financial statements?
In March.
And March statement.
In March. Properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record reflect that it is a tie vote, and I vote to break the tie and approve. Yes.
May I ask Ms. Smith a question?
Yes.
In the past, we, several years back, we used to receive fund balance on the two sales tax accounts that we had, one for street, one for general. General fund balance, utility system balance, and an industrial fund balance. We used to receive that monthly. Do you have the authority and ability to provide that for this council in the upcoming months, each and every month?
Yes.
The fund balance on those four, really five.
You want prior to the meeting?
Yeah.
Monthly. Was there one included in the packet you had gotten?
I did not see it in my packet.
Okay.
So if a
Yours
fund
may
balance
have-
on,
Okay, yours may have been missed, but I believe there was one in the
got one?
rest of the packets.
Okay,
Yes,
well, I
so
apologize.
yours
Okay, well, I did
was
not
missed.
get one in mine, so.
Okay,
All right, but that's something we can get each
yes.
month? Great,
Yes,
thanks.
yes,
Good.
yours was missed. I apologize for
Okay.
that, but they did have one in their packets.
Okay.
I remember them getting one.
Super, great. Thank you.
Let the record reflect that tie vote, and I approve the tie.
Yes.
Item number 17.
Which way did you break it?
To pass.
Oh,
To fail.
They go creative fun tonight, isn't it?
Monthly finance report for April.
And you should also have a packet for April with you. And we've also received from Councilwoman Kay that there was a few errors that we needed to correct, and we've corrected those. So the rest is up to your pleasure.
But they don't match the bank statement either.
I don't have,
You don't have April's?
corrections, the corrections you made, you know what?
On the correction part, she asked a question about the, as to why I want to say it's the $142,000 on sales tax. Was that in there?
Yes.
And the reason why that showed up as, when Charlene received the check for, what month was it? She deposited it all into
That would have been
the
March.
sales tax. And it didn't reflect in, so she had to take it out and put it in street project. So that's why it was a check cut from one to the other. That she was just replacing it because it was accidentally deposited over into the wrong account. And then it was the question again about the bank statements not matching. And honestly, me and Lisa and Alex been looking at this.
Are all the bank statements reconciled?
All banks are reconciled. They are reconciled. And we are up to, but it's just that we believe it's in the number, but it's in the line.
All the bills are paid?
Yeah.
So we still have basically a procedure problem, but we're still with some missed lines or?
Yeah, and we believe it's in a line item because we went back and we looked at these bank statements and it looked like about 8 months ago. This is when it started getting a little crossed up with the little numbers getting off. And we don't know what the cost.
But as long as those numbers are off, those bank statements, I mean, the books are not accurate. The profit and loss is a reflection of the records we keep. And as long as there's a discrepancy between the two, then our records are not accurate, and we, as a council, are not doing our diligent job in making sure that our finances are correct.
So we got all those corrected for April? All those reductions that she asked for have been corrected?
But have they been distributed to the council? I didn't
I
receive
thought all
them.
y'all had the Aprils, but I got 3 here.
The correct, not the ones that we got.
I would make a motion that we add the Aprils to that special call.
And bring it
Do
back.
that, and bring it back when we do all that, and get this special call.
I'd second that motion.
Been properly moved and second that we bring the April financial statement back with the special call meeting. Do I have a second to that?
Yes.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved.
I'll make that motion to
Jason,
adjourn.
to adjourn.